Hello, friends, and welcome to Q&A Thursday with Resolve Strategies. I'm Andrea Epting. Happy to be with you today. And today we are reviewing our Transformative Tuesday topic, which was on ACEs, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. So, ACE scores, when you're really tallying up and inventorying adverse childhood experiences coming out of maybe an addicted family system, like we've talked about before, or you've experienced less than nurturing relationships to a caregiver. So it could be overt or covert abuse, but we also just look at less the nurturing environments and relationships in our childhood. So Kelly Long is with me today, and she's going to review some of the questions that came out of our Transformative Tuesday. All right, Kelly, what you got?
All right, first up, how can an individual identify an adverse childhood experience?
I think it's best, I think you've already identified them. They kind of haunt you and plague you and come up at inappropriate times and in important relationships sometimes. So I think most people really, no matter how hard they've worked or their brain has worked to cope with trauma and adverse childhood experiences, I think we know where they lie. But it is very important that you identify a safe relationship, a safe place and environment and person, ideally somebody trained and licensed as a professional in the field of trauma recovery, mental health counseling, to kind of like dive into that with you. But I mean, I think that we have these embodied experiences. So we live them, we feel them, we continue to experience them. But being able to review your story and dive a little deeper into that experience in a safe environment, that's how we would ideally, start to, go through the process of identifying adverse childhood experiences and understanding that it's not about blaming a major caregiver, because they really 99% of the time they really do the best that they can with what they're working with.
How can someone prevent an adverse childhood experience?
How can somebody prevent an adverse childhood experience? You can't. The answer to that is it is 100% not something that's invited or usually intentional, and it is 1,000% not your fault. And unfortunately, the burden is placed on you. You didn't ask for it, but it is 100% your responsibility to recover from it. What's next?
Last question.
Oh,
How
last question.
can someone recover from an adverse childhood experience?
Okay. So it's a process. It's one step forward, two steps back sometimes. Oftentimes it's going to be three steps forward, one step back. So you're continually progressing in the right direction, but it is something that you do in a safe and confidential environment with somebody trained and licensed to help people recover from childhood trauma and to overcome not just specific traumas, but covert abuse and toxic shame that comes out of dysfunctional family systems. Again, none of this is your fault, but it is your responsibility to be willing and brave and courageous to take a look at it, but to make sure that you identify somebody who can specialize in walking through that journey with you and supporting you in your efforts. So I hope that answers the questions for today, and thanks so much for showing up, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.